All right, so guys have been asking about the workout for a long time. So decided I'm not going to sell it separately, going to do it all for free. So here's the workout. Basically, there's a lot of background I want to give you before, right? So Connor just left, unfortunately, but Connor was here. He asked some great questions. He said, he was going to leave because he said, I want to hear the workout. He goes, but the thing is that you're not like me. Like, you put on muscle easy. And so, I have a different body type. And then somebody else said that. And I was blown away because you don't know what people don't know. So I want to kind of tell you. So I had very difficult time putting on muscle. I was always super thin, right? I was more like Joel. I was like super thin. I couldn't put on muscle, but I was strong. I was always strong, right? But I just couldn't put on muscle. And so I saw these other guys putting on muscle, and I wanted to put on muscle at the same time as one is I wanted to be healthy, right? So, but I did want to put on some muscle. You just want to have kind of nice shape, and you just kind of want to look good, right? It's part of it, right? And that's where you look good because you're healthier, right? You put on muscle, it's good for you, right? So I was like, okay, so what do? I tried everything. I bought a bunch of protein powder. I tried buying different supplements they had in the store. And then one time I went down to Okinawa and I stayed in this guy's house, and he had a judo school. So I was staying in one of the rooms, and then he had all the muscle and fitness magazines, every single one from the beginning of time. He had like the library of rooms of these things. And it was like amazing. So I stayed there for 2 weeks so I could read them all for free. So I was like, no way, this is amazing, He's like, oh yeah, just fucking read them all. Yeah, because I was staying in the room and they were just there. It was just by chance. So I started reading them, and I was like, yeah, way back to the 70s and everything. And everything I wanted to put on muscle, but I wanted to do it very efficiently. And like, I tried everything that I could read in those magazines, which was pretty much everything. Because it rained all week. So it rained for 10 days. So I was in Okinawa to go to the beach, but it was raining from morning to night, pouring rain. You couldn't even a meter outside, you were soaked. So nobody was outside. So I just read magazines all week. I'm just reading. And I tried everything, nothing helped me. So then my friend, people told me, oh, I got to work out for you. And I tried that. It didn't work. I was very, very motivated, it's just that nothing worked. I think I could have gotten fat maybe, but I couldn't have put on muscle and stayed thin, So I was like, okay. So then my friend, this Australian guy, he said, I got the workout for you. He goes, and it's once a week. And I was like, and then he basically had the Metzer book. You guys know about that, right? The heavy duty book. So Mike Metzer,
he's a bodybuilder, right?
Him and his brother were twins bodybuilders. So they had this workout. It was a once a week thing, and they just looked great. They weren't they were bodybuilders, but they weren't as big as Dorian Yates, or they weren't these massive. They just looked more like guys really want to look, or at least I think like a natural, healthy body style. They're a little bigger than that, but still, it was close. It wasn't that kind of just that. It wasn't that body freak weirdness, right? So I didn't want that. Oh, let me say one thing. So the gym thing, when you're working out, one of the biggest things I think is the biggest problem. For example, I was talking to Dave. So tell me, you got the wrong trainer, I think, right? You got this guy who was a power lifter.
Yeah, he was a power lifter, and he kind of got me on a powerlifting schedule.
Right. Now, let me say, you don't look like a power lifter. You're very thin.
I got a runner's kind of body.
You got totally.
Yeah.
So the problem with working out is there's so much unknown that you don't even know what kind of trainer to get. So I think the number one thing is you have to have the right mindset of where you want to go. And so before I met the Australian guy, I met another guy, and we would go to the gym, and he would make fun of everybody at the gym. Because we would go to the power lifters, and he would go, they're fat. And I was like, that's harsh. I was more politically correct back then. I was like,
Is that a girl fat?
I just didn't think that way. I didn't think of judging other people so much. And he was like, he's fucking fat. What did he say? He's a fat fuck. Everybody's a fat fuck. And this guy had a 30-inch waist, and he was very muscular, right? And so, and I had to admit it after thinking about it. He goes, he looks like shit. He goes, because I would be following him. I did the same thing as you. I was following these power lifters. Because I thought, I want to be strong, right? And the power lifters were strong. But I didn't really look at them. If I really just open my eyes and look at them, they look terrible.
Yeah, they kind of got a belly.
They got a belly.
Right.
Yeah, like a linebacker, or like these guys in the NFL.
They're sacrificing everything just to lift a little more.
To just lift it, yeah. And in the end, like, you can be so strong and look good and be healthy, and all that extra weight is weight on your knees. It's weight on your bones. It takes time off your life because the less you eat, the longer you live. So I learned a lot from Japanese guys being so thin. I wanted to be like that and live long, climb Mount Fuji at age 90. I wanted to do that at the same time as I wanted to live. I wanted the perfect balance, So that guy helped me a lot, actually. That guy who criticized people, because he'd be like, he really would do that all the time. And like, I realized that most of the body types in the gym did not look like I wanted to look. And it was like, that was hard to admit because all my life I hadn't seen that. I go to the gym, I just didn't see it. Like all of a sudden I could see it. I was like, "You're right." So he said, "Muscle and fitness. This is the look you want." Back in the day, muscle and fitness was. I went and looked at it the other day, and now they're kind of too big. They're not the look of the original muscle and fitness. That was the original. I think the best look for a guy personally. That was always my goal. The like top muscle and fitness, the cover guy, right? So I was like, okay, now I know what I want. Because the thing is if you don't know what you want, you get sucked into things. And you'll get sucked into drinking all this protein powder. You'll get sucked into basically being fat and covering it up, right? You'll get sucked into using steroids. I was at the gym and I was lifting weights one time and I was just feeling like, okay, you got to deal with your insecurities when you work out. That's the other thing. So one thing is you look at the other guys and the other thing is you have to deal with your insecurities, right? So I always wanted to be stronger and bigger. Like once you either work out or you don't, right? So you start working out, you're like, okay, what am I doing? I'm going to work out, right? So then you just like, I was just kind of blind, like moving forward, right? And then I'd be at the gym and guys were bigger than me. And I'm like, I want to be bigger, right? So then all these guys at the gym were huge. And then I didn't know it, but they were all taking steroids. And this was a long time ago. So steroids were not common. But this was a bodybuilding gym in Japan. If anybody knows Tokyo, it's in Nakano. It's on Nakano Road, I think it is, between Higashi Nakano and Nakano. And Mr. Japan, Koinuma-san, owned it, and he used to run it. And I was sitting there one time, I was in the shower, I was in the locker room, and this guy came up to me, this Bangladesh guy, and he's like, you want to add some weight muscles? And he goes, he goes, look at my shoulders, and he had like these rips, in his shoulders, and he's like, I got some stuff that can help you out. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I knew it was something illegal.
Right.
Like this is a pretty long time ago. Like this is pre-internet.
Yeah, it's like trying to push you on. Yeah.
He was a pusher, right?
Yeah.
and I was kind of like prey because I had money. I wanted to get bigger. I didn't know much. I wanted to be like Koinuma-san because Koinuma looked great, right? Mm-hmm. And so then I was talking to him. I was like, ooh, I knew it was something kind of illegal. Like it was funny, before the internet, we just didn't know anything. Like even steroids, we knew them from the Olympics, but that's all we knew, Right. Unless you were a doctor or something, right? So basically, we didn't know anything. So I was like thinking, yeah, steroid. I'll get some from that guy, that Pakistani guy. I'll get some. And then one day, Koinuma, I guess he owns the gym, and he was kind of like a father figure kind of guy, right? So he had heard about this, right? So I was working out, and I was doing something, and he said, I was doing my calves. My calves are really strong, right? I have like super strong calves. So I can max the thing out. Koinuma's on my back. There's weights tied onto the machine. And somebody's on Koinuma's back, and I'm doing the calf raises, And he's like, your calves are so strong. And he goes, but the thing I like about you, he goes, is you are so secure, is you don't do steroids. And I was like, what? Because I wasn't secure, but I wasn't doing steroids. And the only reason why I wasn't doing steroids is because I just hadn't done it yet, And he said, everybody in this gym is using steroids. He goes, you're happy with yourself. Like, you work really hard, but you're happy with yourself. And coming from him, it was really like, I was like, oh, that's good? Because I was thinking, I want to be like you. Because he was a competitive bodybuilder, like, they were all on steroids. And he would like really help me because he says, no, it's good. You're basically avoiding all the traps in bodybuilding while getting the benefits, Like, you're not here every day. You barely come here. And like, you look great, and you're doing great for yourself, and you're happy with yourself. And I was kind of thinking, like, I'm not, like, I wasn't happy with myself. I wanted more, right? But the thing is, it changed my mind because I thought a guy like Koinuma, who had gone to the top, I think I don't know if he was a Mr. Universe, but he was Mr. Japan many times, like 5 times. So I was like, okay, maybe this is my goal. We kind of take on goals from people we meet, right?
Like hearing that from him had a lot of impact.
It did. It had a huge impact. Because I thought, okay, I'm not going to quickly go this other route, So I'll just try a little harder, do with those one more rep and stuff, right? So anyway, so that was a very meaningful thing in my workout. It was those two guys. One is the guy who had me look really hard at people in the gym. Like how long they were in the gym, how they looked. Those two things were big because if you can be in the gym once a week or you're in the gym 7 days a week, this is a huge difference in your life.
Yeah.
It's huge, right? Like you're a totally different person. If you're in the gym 7 days a week, you kind of can't do much.
Right. On top of a job.
You can't go on holiday. Yeah, because your gym's not going to have everything you need. You're like a gym rat, You're going to get athlete's foot all the time. You're going to be your friends are in the gym.
Right.
It takes those guys, they're in there for like an hour and a half.
You have to do meal prep. You don't have any time to cook. Like
Meal preps. They got the pre-workout workout.
Yeah.
They're carrying those shaker things.
Gallon of water.
Yeah. It's like all that stuff. And I really wanted the best of all the worlds. I was always looking for the best possible magic bullet solution for myself. And so once I saw that, because I just didn't even know I was seeing that. I didn't even know I was on the wrong road on everything, right? So these things influenced me. So my friend who got me to look at people in the gym changed me because I was like, 7 days a week. And I would look at the guys and they just didn't look that happy. I don't know if it was just those guys or whatever, but being in the gym doesn't make me happy. Like I'd rather never go to the gym, I don't need, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I hate going. I love leaving.
Well, I like working out.
No, just mean when you got the endorphins afterwards, you feel great.
But I like the gym. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I don't like it. I like to go.
Yeah.
Like I can go 7 days a week, but if I do free up that time, I will find other things to do. Maybe work more, or what something else.
Right.
I'll just find something. I'll travel more. Whatever. I'll go to that museum, or I'll just whatever it is that I do. Meet my friends. So that made sense. So now I got my goals. I want to look like a muscled, healthy, men's health, guy, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in the gym a lot. Okay. And I want to be happy with who I am, with what I have, myself, right? But I'm skinny and I'm having trouble putting on muscle. So then I met the other guy who had a big influence, and that was the Australian that I started to talk about. So he said, I got to work out for you. It's once a week. And he said once a week, but I couldn't hear him. So anyway, I went to his house, and he had a gym in his building. And we did it. And basically what we were doing is the Mike Metzer heavy duty, the idea that he wrote in that original book, but it had been modified by him, and I've modified it a lot since then, right? The original idea was really simple, and that was, Mike Metzer's idea was very good, but I haven't found it to be useful long term. Because what his idea was, do you guys know it at all? Any idea what it was?
I didn't
not
follow
familiar
Mark
with it.
Metzer.
Oh, okay. It was interesting. It's HIIT, is high intensity training.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Training?
Yeah.
But his was super extreme. So his was, you do one set between 5 and 8 reps. So you have to have the right amount of weight, where the last rep is absolute failure. Like absolute
Muscle
maximum.
failure.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolute maximum.
Right.
Where you vomit,
Oh,
where you
jeez,
pass
yeah.
out, where you fall down.
One set? That's it?
One fucking set.
Okay.
So you do one set of bench,
Just one set for the whole machine.
one set of everything.
Oh shoot! All right.
One set of fucking squats to the max. One set of bench to the max.
Do you warm up though?
Like basically very minimal warm-ups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go do it.
And you're done with the whole thing in 20 minutes, once a week.
Wow. I
That
don't.
is high
that-
intense.
that's-
It's very intense. And so it is very intense. Because it's very difficult to go to max, because you can say the word MAX very easy, but to actually go to absolute max requires a very intense person, right?
It's mental fortitude.
It's mental.
And you
It's
can't be
mental.
like, you got that weight on your back and you're afraid of dropping it. You're like, I got one more in me.
It's also, you have to, like when I originally, I'll tell you
Yeah.
my kind of process. So I went to his house, and he had a what do you call it? A notebook. He had a notebook, and we had to write down everything that we did on each one, because when you're only doing one set, you don't have time to change plates.
Mm-hmm.
It was just one fucking set. You had to know exactly what max was between 6 and 8. So if you did 10, it was a failure. If you did 4, it was a failure. It had to be between 6 and 8 reps, right? And it had to be max. So it was really hard to get it right to hit it, but I tried. So for years I did that.
How do you find your max?
Several years.
It's trial and error.
You find it trial and error. Trial and error. And also it's...
So it's too easy. You just make it heavier and heavier.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, this is totally different than any workout plan I've ever read.
Yes. No, this is very, very different. Yeah. This is very unique. And
5 sets of 5.
This is
something.
super
It's
powerful.
like, yeah.
This. I'm telling you, this workout is super fucking awesome, right? So, and you can twist it. You can all these things I'm telling you will give you ideas of how you could kind of mangle it as you go towards your goal, and how as you figure out your best thing, and then as it kind of evolves in your life, right? Because this is a real thing you can take with you for the rest of your life. Like, this is a great fucking workout. It really is. So I started with that, and so what I did was 20 minutes. I was done with the whole fucking thing once a week, and I was in my
That's efficient.
It's very efficient, and I came in and I would just fucking just bam, 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 just whoa, fall down, and I was just like, and then and the thing is when I was in my 20s, that one set worked. I just had the energy to hit that final rep, and it was awesome, right? And I got so strong. If you do this, you'll get fucking strong as fuck. You will get very strong. So that's the only thing. Depends on your body type. Someone like you is going to get very strong. So you do have to be careful. Because what happens is you can get so heavy that your knees can go out. Like, things can get fucked up. Your muscles can handle it.
Yeah.
Other things can't.
I mean, I'm only in my 30s, but I know I have to stretch before I work out now. So I'm not, my 20s, you can just go, but now it's like...
I never did anything.
Okay.
I never do. I never will. I never stretch. I never warm up.
Wow.
So, this is...
Yeah.
I believe scientifically it's good, but everybody's different, right? People told me in football, when I played football, everybody told me, my coach, I never warmed up, and I was the only one on the team who didn't warm up, and he always said, you're going to get injured. And I was in high school, and I've never gotten injured since then. So I never got injured. So he was wrong. And I read a lot of studies is that when you warm up, what you're doing is there's two ways of thinking about it. When you warm up with fairly heavy weights, you are doing little tears and rips. And then when you do go to max, you're more likely to get injured. There's different arguments for it. So feel yourself. I never warm up because I've never felt like I needed to. Yeah. I'm 56. I still do it.
Well,
it feels great. The way I do
the
it.
Stretching, I think, is because you do yoga, and so that's probably
no. But I just started doing yoga the last couple of years. No, I didn't before.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Well, I had just something to add with the stretching part and warming up.
Yeah.
I stretch. I got a daily stretch routine. It takes that I do go through, but it's kind of what, in my opinion, what works for the individual. Because I read
and also what you like to do. Like, I don't like stretching.
Okay.
Yeah, I like yoga, but I don't like stretching.
Right. Well, because I'm working a computer job, I'm in a desk all day. I have to stretch to get out of that.
Oh, yeah.
But I used to play hockey, and I did read an article one time that said, I forget what university did the study, but they said they basically did a study kept track of players who warmed up and stretched out, and players who didn't, and that study showed that there was no more injuries. There was no benefit to it.
Yeah. That's what I read too.
But I like stretching, though. I do.
Okay, so but it's a good point, because you have to be careful of listening to other people, because it's very difficult. Okay, health is very difficult, because I'm not saying don't listen to anybody. I'm not even saying I'm right. I'm just saying, like, don't necessarily believe things even from your good friends or from the doctor. Like, be very, like, it's like it always changes, and then, like, there'll be doctors saying something this year, and then 5 years later they'll be saying something totally different. Yeah. And they'll always say, listen to the doctor. I'm not saying doctors are wrong. I'm not saying don't trust them. Don't read too much. I'm just saying, like, this, I see this all the time. Yeah. So you have to be careful, just because...
Oh, this is safe. It doesn't give you cancer. Now it does.
Right. And
now it doesn't again.
And also, not many doctors work out. And my workout looks very intense, so people will always say it looks dangerous. And what they'll say is, I'll do your workout in a mini way. I don't think you can do it in a mini way. I think it's like this or nothing, or do something else. I think that's kind of... Personally, I think this workout, you do it this way, or do another workout. There's a lot of different workouts, right? But this one, I think it's good just because you get strength, you get a 6-pack, and you also are very efficient. And I think also recovery-wise, it's a very good workout because what you're doing is you're coming in, you're going heavy, you're going strong, and then you have 6 days to recover.
Yeah.
So generally, if I do it right, I will be very sore tomorrow, the next day, and even the next day. Where, like, say 2 days from now, I'll get out of bed and take a piss at night, and I'll be hating it life.
Yeah.
I'll think to myself, I'm 56, and I'm still doing this shit. Yeah, that's what I'll think. It's like a fucking school kid. I'm fucking so sore, right? Because it never stops. Because as you get stronger, or as you do it slower or more painful, whatever it is, you have to keep ripping the muscles.
Right.
So there's no, you know what I mean? Like
There's
it
no
doesn't get any easier,
no
and it's not any harder when you start.
Yeah.
So when the first day you do this is not any harder than I'm doing it. So we're kind of on the same. Everybody's on the same
So
level.
somebody
Because you're doing it to
untrained-
max. So that's the thing. You're always going to fucking max.
So we have some
Yeah.
beginners listening for sure who probably have never touched weights.
Yeah.
Would this be day one? Go try to figure this out, or would it be
I mean,
work out for a while?
I'm not a doctor, and I would not recommend doing
Yeah.
anything Ronin Man does ever because it's too dangerous. You know? Yeah, it's a bad idea. Yeah, don't travel the world.
Disclaimer.
Yeah. But you know, like it depends. I personally, if it was me, I would do it because
Yeah.
why fuck around? Go for the good workout.
Yeah.
I would. You know,
Okay.
I don't know if it's the best. I don't think they're. Yeah, I don't think it's dangerous. I mean, it's just, like I say, it's kind of the same as now. Every time I do it, it's like I'm doing it the same. So I don't think there's really anything more danger.
Okay.
But I think the key thing you need to know is that people get injured. Okay, and you can get injured. It can happen. Like you just have to know if you don't want to get injured, kill yourself because that's the easiest way. Because you'll just one time and then never again. You'll never be injured. You know. But if you want to be alive, you're going to get injured and you're going to fall down. And if you ride a skateboard, you're going to fall off the skateboard and get a skinned knee, and you might even like get paralyzed. That is the reality of anything, right? So I think that's the thing is to realize that. Okay, and if you don't do anything, then you could be the fat guy at Starbucks. And he's got all kinds of problems that he can't sue anybody for, but he has serious problems that are much worse. So think about it, what you want to do with your life. Like, you could be very seriously injured, period.
I think the
Because
smartest,
you're lifting heavy.
the smartest thing to do
Yeah.
is make sure your
You might
form-
misunderstand me, too.
make sure your form
Yeah.
is correct.
This is
because-
this is the thing.
Because yeah,
Especially with this workout.
and I know when I first started, I hired a personal trainer just to observe my form, just because I didn't want to hurt myself. And so I
Right.
hired the expert to just pay that bill, learn how to do it right the first time, and then I got set for life. You know?
Okay, I did it a different way. So what
Yeah.
I did is I did it until I was
Yeah.
super sore.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm doing it wrong. Or like, you know.
You like to learn the hard way, though.
Yeah. But I'd be at the gym and like everybody would come to me like, you're doing that wrong. You shouldn't do that. You're doing that wrong. And I'm like, well, I'm still not injured, so fuck it. And then for one day I'd finally like, it would make sense to me why to do it that way. You know, I kind of wait till it makes sense to me. And then I'm like, and then I fully understand why I'm doing it that way.
Yeah.
Not because somebody told me, not because I should. I just finally, I get it. Like that what do you call it? The way the body moves, what's that called? Your body ergonomics. What is it?
Biomechanics.
The biomechanics.
Oh, yeah.
The biomechanics of your body are perfect in this movement. And then I feel the everything working right. The machine of my body is just perfect. And then I'm like, okay, now I understand why you do this. Because people will tell you to do this or that, but they don't really understand themselves why. That's probably why I don't listen to people, because usually they're saying something, they just repeat it. So they're not a biomechanics guy who knows why they're doing it. So they can just tell you, just do this. And they're just kind of like, you can tell when someone knows something or they're telling you something, right? If someone really tells me something, like, I had one guy at the gym, he was a Korean guy, he came up to me and when I was doing something, and when I was doing squats, and he said, he knew, he said, he was in my building in Bangkok. He said, you're doing that wrong. And he started to show me. And then I asked him more questions. And it turns out he used to lift in the Olympics. He represented Korea in like 96 or somewhere back then. And he was like super interesting because he actually knew stuff. And then he taught me a bunch of stuff, and he was super pissed off afterwards because he goes, "I spent $100,000 learning this." He's like, "I had special trainers," and he said, "You're a fast learner. You're learning everything,
Right.
like for free in this, because he wanted to show me, and then I wouldn't really learn." Yeah, like that's actually what he
yeah.
wanted to do,
Yeah.
just to be better. He's
Right.
kind of an odd guy. But actually, then I actually listened to him and watched him.
Yeah.
Because he was being a total dick, basically. He was being the way that you wouldn't want to listen to somebody.
Yeah.
But I can listen to people like that. See, I saw he had something. And I'm like, I want to learn from this guy. He knows something.
Right.
And anybody knows anything. I don't care who they are, homeless. They could be any kind of person. Like, they could want to kill me. They could be an assassin sent to kill me, but they know how to do a workout. I'm like, show me how to do that workout. I want to learn how do you do that? Before you kill me, just tell me. Like, I never knew. Oh, okay. So, that was that's the attitude, When you go to the gym, don't be around nice people. You want into people who know stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So if you do pick up new things, and that's partly why I'm making this video, I want to throw stuff, and then if somebody knows stuff, maybe we can make this workout even better or even shorter or something like that, which would be great, And I think there's enough guys on here, and with the right attitude, we can make maybe even, 1 or 2 or 3 workouts, perfect, perfect slam dunk, boom, boom, boom workouts, right?
Yeah.
So that's it. And I don't profess. Okay, the other thing is too, I don't profess to have good form. Okay, I'm not saying I have perfect form. I do not have good form. Like, a lot of my form is wrong sometimes, and I understand that. It's so how could you have a good workout with bad form? There's other things besides form, believe it or not. It's like just going for it, trying hard, gritting through it, grinding it out, doing those things. There's other things too, and also I'm lucky too because I don't get injured easily.
Right.
So I can get away with stuff maybe that other people couldn't get away with. So I just take advantage of that.
And it reminds me
And
when you're using muscles that might not necessarily be part of the exercise, you're working muscles that are like the stabilizers.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like you're actually getting, if you were to lose weight maybe a little bit, you'd be able to recover, whereas someone else would have to drop it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. and I'm just plain lucky too
Yeah.
sometimes because one time I was in that gym, in Nakano gym. I don't know if I ever told the story, but anyway, I'll put it in here. So I was doing a squat, 396 pounds, and I was coming down, and I did all my sets. I actually said this in another video, but I said, I got down to the end, and there was this guy watching me, and he was very sloppy. And he said, let's spot each other. And I don't like spotters. I don't use spotters. This is on your own. You don't need anybody to go with you, okay? So this is another key thing in the workout. You don't need 2 people. It's 1 person. I never have a spotter. So anyway, he said, but I tried everything. So he was like, I'll spot you. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because I never have a spotter. And this guy wants to spot me. Oh, okay. So I did the thing. I was doing 396. I was doing my squats. And I was much stronger than I am now. I was in my late 20s. I was working all the time. This is not a competition, okay? You want to be healthy. That's the thing. I'm not looking for certain things, just like in pickup or certain traveling. I'm in certain stages in my life. So anyway, in that stage, I was really interested in what my body could do. Like, how much could I lift? How much could I do? How much am I capable of doing? So I was very interested in that. So I do 396 squats, 396 deadlifts. I just use the same amount of weight. I just switch them off, do these, do those. And then, so anyway, so he said, I'll do the thing. So, but I would never use sleeves.
Right.
Yeah, because I don't like sleeves because what they do is they hold the weights on the end, right? So when you lean over, the weights go off and you get injured, right? But I don't like sleeves because
like the clips.
The clips.
Oh, okay.
I never use the clips.
I thought you meant like the part that goes behind your neck.
No. The thing is to hold the weights on.
Yeah, the clips. Yeah.
Yeah, like that everybody uses.
Yeah.
I don't never use those because I like to have the balance of holding. Because when you're doing fairly heavy for yourself, you don't want to get off balance. And those clips, they let me get off balance. I mean, I will use clips. Like, most gyms will kick you out if you don't use clips. So sometimes I have to, but I don't like clips because I think that it's like almost like a Zen or something. I want to be right there. I want to feel the balance perfectly. Even if there's like oily, some weights that gym had oily bars because it was a weightlifting gym. So you just throw them on there. They had kept it perfect, right? And so anyway, I had these oily bars with no clips and I was doing 396. And so I'm going down to the last rep and then he said, 1 more. And I was thinking to myself, like, I should have explained my personality to this guy because I'm like, I can't do 1 more. Like I was thinking. But of course I can't talk because you can't breathe.
Yeah.
I'm like, so anyway, so I'm like, okay, 1 more, all right. Because I thought maybe he knows something. Maybe I can do it. I thought, like these guys are weightlifters, they must know something, right? I'm dumb, I'm a kid, I'll do 1 more. So if I go down 1 more, he's looking over talking to somebody. He's not even looking at me. So anyway, so I come down and I can't do one more. Like as soon as I come down, it's just like, and so I lean to the side and the weights, it's like a nightmare. There's a mirror in front of me. I see the weights start sliding off. The 45 plates start sliding off one end. And I'm like, oh no. So then I'm like, oh no. So then I had my hands on the bar. I'm doing the deadlift. I'm doing squat. Squats, yeah. And then I saw it, so the right side it fell off, and then it flipped me up on the left side, and I flew up. The ceiling was higher than this. I flew up into the ceiling, tore the ceiling off the roof. I held onto the bar. I took all the lights off the ceiling. Like it went through the ceiling and tore the things off, and then the other weights slid off the other side, and then I came flying down on my back on the weights, and then Corey Newman was over at the front desk, right? He saw the whole thing, right? And he comes screaming up, he's yelling, he's just like in Japanese, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you could have killed this guy, And I was like, I'm fine, and so nothing happened, right? But it was super dangerous. So that was the thing. That was the one time I wish I had clips on. Is with that guy. But if I had clips, maybe I would have been injured more because it was too heavy for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't lift it. It was 396. I was going over to the left. Maybe I saved myself from not having clips.
I mean, you're supposed to just dump it off your back and just let it hit the floor.
It was too late. I was going forward and sideways. Like there was no fixing that. Okay. No.
Yeah.
And I've never done that. Yeah. So I didn't know that. I've seen people do it, but I'd never done it. So I always felt like I was going to hit my feet or something. So I've never done that. And I've never been in a gym that has those things to drop it on.
Right.
I'm always in Asia. So Asia, they never have.
They don't have the rack for it.
Well, no, in Asia, you're always on a second floor or a third floor of an office building.
Yeah, okay.
So you have to put things down.
Nicely.
In Asia, you can't yell in the gyms.
Yeah.
You can't say fucking, you can't yell. So you're always like, everyone's like super quiet. There'll be all these guys lifting heavy and you don't hear a single thing. Yeah. The only guy making noises. Right. No, they don't even do that. No. The only guy making noises will be a foreigner.
Right.
Yeah. There'll be one foreigner doing it. So when I see people doing that, I feel like they're showing off. So I'm very quiet.
There's the guy slamming the plates.
Yeah. To me, that is my little thing because I'm basically Asian. And I like to be quiet. Right. And just, don't bother people. I take care of the weights. And also, if I can lift them, I can control them. The idea that you can lift them and you can't set them down, I don't get that. Like,
right.
Be respectful. It's like things get broken, drop, they make noise. I like when everybody just is respectful. Like Japan. Everybody in public, they're always, here Americans, they're always talking too loud. They're always, you know what I mean? They're always just doing, to me, it's just no class. I don't like it.
Yeah.
Be classy, in the gym, right? And if you can lift heavy weights, be classy, it's fucking awesome combo. I think it's good. It's always good to think about how you treat others, right? So in the gym, that's what I do. I do my thing. And so anyway, that's how I learned. But I did the no clips. I still do it mainly because I think your balance is number one, and it goes what you said, which is your form is key, right? So whether you're my way where you're learning the form through mistakes and then slowly learning the right way. See, the thing is when you go to max, it kind of forces you to do the right form.
Yeah.
The biomechanics, they have to be right because you find out your form is no good when you go heavy. You don't know when you're going light. When you go heavy, it's the pressures is too intense.
Right.
And the joints start to break, bones start to break, things get fucked up, right? So having the right mechanics becomes necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say for bench too, if you're alone, definitely don't use clips because then at least if you're trying to go to max and you need to dump it, you can get rid of the plates.
Oh, yeah. I've always worried about, I saw the guy who killed himself because it landed on his neck.
Yeah.
That always scares the shit out of me when I bench. That's why I don't like benching so much. I like using a machine for bench or a Smith machine.
Yeah.
Because you can kill yourself. If it drops on your neck, you're dead.
I usually am in gyms with enough people around where people will see if you're in trouble, but
it happens so fast. Especially me because I'm being quiet.
Right.
So people don't notice, right?
Yeah.
If you ever see, the worst, well, it's the worst video on YouTube, but he's this guy in the Olympics. I think it's the Olympics or weightlifting competition, and he's going too heavy with bad form, and his spinal column comes out of his ass.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, you actually see it come out. Yeah, you actually see it come out of his body. And you're like, oh, no. You're like, that's not good. So form does matter. So obviously you don't want your spinal column coming out of your ass. if you can avoid that.
It sounds like the
Yeah.
recovery period is like really key. When I was lifting with that
Yeah.
power lifter, he was, it started out 3 days, but it went up to 5 days.
Right.
And I did add some muscle, but it just did not feel sustainable.
Right.
Like I started
Right.
just getting tired. I was just worn out.
Oh yeah. And in fact, recovery. That's you reminded me. So recovery. What my friend taught me when he taught me this workout. I think it was in the heavy duty book. But anyway, my friend had read it, and I just skimmed it. But he had read it, and he was like showing me the workout. But one of the key things is that people think, okay, I'm resting my legs today. I'm doing my chest. Tomorrow I'm doing my forearms or whatever. He said, look, your body is connected. It's not a computer. If your body's tired, your body's tired. So if you're resting, you're resting. You can't lift weights and rest. So that's why the workout is perfect in a way, because you're doing everything at once and then you're resting everything. And those days are so crucial. That's why it's only once a week, because you'll be sore almost until the 7th day. So you basically do the second workout, the next workout, when you're done being sore.
So
That's the goal.
So what it sounds like, if I'm not sore, I didn't go hard, not heavy enough.
This is absolutely the case.
So now,
So you know you didn't do it right.
Yeah.
You didn't do it right.
You have to get
If you're not sore. So whether it's heavy weights, that brings up another key point. You can go to max different ways. Okay, so you can go to max going slow with lighter weight. I'm not saying lightweight, but lighter weight. So you can also go to max different ways, right? So
Right.
I prefer heavy weights because I think you just feel it in your fucking testosterone or something. It just tends to be good. But going light to max, there's something miserably painful
Right.
about that,
Yeah.
Like
and
if-
useful
yeah,
there
It's
too.
worse. It's harder.
Like-
It's harder, but I don't.
Yeah, if
think
you're on the
it's as
bench
good.
and you maybe just doing half your weight, but you grip that bench as hard as you could go, and you're just slowly lifting
slow
it, like
down.
tense between your muscles
Yeah.
the whole way up, and the tense in your muscles the whole way down. You're gonna work that shit like
Yeah,
really hard. So.
and what's good about these kind of thinking is that
Yeah.
you can you do want to shake your muscles up a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and you're doing one workout all the time, so it is kind of like good to try these lighter ones a little bit, or like if you're doing, you can do the wide grip and the thin grip and the regular grip and things like that, and then just to kind of like shake up the muscles a little bit,
Yeah.
or go slow or go fast or do both. So what I started with was the one set, and then as I got older, I realized, well, Mike Metzger and his brother both died, so they didn't get to perfect their workout. I would be awesome if I could do the Mike Metzger like continuation, because I think he was onto something, but he didn't have enough time to really nail it. But I think what I do now is I got the feeling. Okay, basically, what is max is you can feel it. You got to know what max feels like, because it's not how it looks, it's how it feels. You'll feel it. You'll feel like I did the max today, and it's just like bam. And when you do the max, here's the thing on max, it's magic. Okay, on a man's body, it's magic. So when you do, let's say you just do squats to max, or deadlifts to max, or whatever, what'll happen is, I think if you just go in the gym once a week and just do one thing to fucking max and get the fuck out, you're done in like 2 minutes. It's a better workout than most people who sit there 7 days a week. That sounds stupid, but try it and tell me. I'm serious, it's powerful. Going to max, I think it starts to release a chemical in your body which creates muscles.
Yeah.
And that is very good, So that's not scientific, but I feel that. I believe it's true. And until I don't see it proven true, I believe it's true.
It's been true for me,
yeah.
but it's the bigger muscle groups, because you're able
Of
to
course.
get those bigger.
It's gotta be
tears
one
in.
of the bigger, yeah.
like squats. Once I do squats and I'm doing other things well, it's like the chemicals that got released from those huge legs muscles affect my whole body.
So you know the feeling. Okay,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
A lot of guys don't know that.
Yeah.
So they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
So you kind of have to experiment with your body
Right.
to get that feeling. And once, just think, what is that feeling he's described? What is that max feeling? What is that testosterone released? Those muscles, that thing released. Okay, so that leads to another point, which is key in the workout, is the mindset. The mindset is this. Is that why you're going to max is your body. Okay, so why it's so hard to put on muscle. Okay, why the other workouts don't work, or a lot of workouts don't work, is because your body is efficient. Okay, so your body basically does not want to put on muscles. Okay, because muscles are very energy intensive. And so muscles basically will make you die
Quicker.
in evolution.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're thin and light and just you're perfect, like caveman weight, you're going to live the longest. You'll survive the most famines. You'll need the least amount of water. And you will survive. So there's two things we talk about in the summer was survival and reproduction. So your body is number one thing is survival. So my workout is kind of fucking with your survival thing because you're tricking it. Okay, so what you have to do is in order to put on muscle or a skinny guy, it's not just trying hard. You're actually, this is very important. Actually, this might be the foundation of workout, is that you want to trick your body so that your body thinks. Okay, so here's how you trick your body. Is your body is like, so let's say I do a regular set. Here's why guys are fat in the gym, is because they're sitting there and they're working out and they're trying hard and they're sweating and they're doing everything, but they don't understand what's wrong. They can't get it. What it is their body is, no matter how much they lift, the mind is incredibly intelligent, right? Your mind and your subconscious and your emotional brain and everything. And it's saying, the basic calculation it's saying is, if I don't do this, will I die? Okay, so if I don't put on this muscle, will I die? And if your body says, I won't die, then it won't put the muscle on. So that's why you can't put on muscle.
Okay.
Okay, because your body's saying, I'm better off this way, just in case some famine hits me and I can't I can't get food. Like, I will be able to survive better without that muscle, extra. It's like putting a V8 in a bug. It's very energy and it's not really efficient anymore, right? So you're putting a V8 in a bug is what you're doing, and it's not efficient, so it's going to reject it.
Right.
So what you have to do is that, the reason why you're going to max, or when you go to max, the mindset you want to have is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's not impress the guys in the gym. It's not any of that stuff. Is you're trying to override your own brain. So you're trying to tell your brain that basically, imagine you're like in Africa, on the plains of Africa, and trees are falling on you all the time. And if you can't lift them up, you can't get free, and the tiger will eat you. Right? These trees are always trapping you when you sleep or something, and you have to get up and lift the whole fucking tree. Otherwise, you'll be trapped and eaten. So your mind, that's not an easy thing to tell your brain. But your brain is very smart. So your brain's like, this situation he's in requires these muscles. Otherwise, we won't even live long term. Like short term, we're going to die. So the reason why he doesn't put on the muscles is he thinks long term. But it also, like, short term is more important. Like, if you're going to die short term, you can't live long term. So the body's like, okay, he needs these muscles for now. So we will allow these muscles to build, to
I
grow.
think that has something to do with, like, guys in prison that can put on muscle sometimes because they're like, I got to do this, otherwise I'm going to die.
It could be. Exactly. That's actually, that would be a similar, sounds like a perfect example off the top of my head. Yeah, you got to do it.
How long does it take to see results?
You'll see results right away. Oh yeah, you'll start seeing results. You'll see, like today when I work out, you'll see a big difference after my workout. That's the only thing is, like, you do your once a week workout and you like bulk up, and then through the week, see, this workout is not really for anybody else. It's you do look good. Okay, don't get me wrong, but a lot of guys, the whole thing is to look good, right? This workout is for like health, strength, testosterone, feeling good, efficiency, kicking ass, right? It's not for looking in the mirror, right? So, like, if you work out every day, you're kind of like lifting those muscles. It's kind of like let's say you're taking a dick pic, send it to some chick, and you get like a chubby, right? And you send her that, right? That's like having a chubby all the time. That's what you do when you're going to the gym all the time. You're trying to make yourself look more muscular than you are, right? And the thing is, that doesn't really put on muscle. See, so it doesn't. It's just a way of looking good. So this is a way of actually putting on muscle. So you will look good in the end. You'll look better. It'll have an effect on your body, but it's not an everyday. You know what I mean? Like
it's like the pump.
The pump is not there.
Putting on real muscle.
Right. The pump's not there. Like when you go to the gym all the time, the pump's kind of always there. Mm-hmm. But the goal is, like I said, like this is like results kind of thing. So where was I going with that? So okay, so you want to trick your body. You want to do the thing. So do what it takes in your own mind. And what I did in the beginning, I had different tricks I used on my mind to do that last thing. like, if you watch the movie Pumping Iron with Schwarzenegger, and he says, if he doesn't vomit, it wasn't a good workout, and that was really had a big effect on me because I was in California, he was in California, I kind of saw the movie and I was like, because I always felt like, well, fuck, if I passed out or vomited, that would be a failure, right? Of course, right? And then when I watch Arnold, he's like, if you didn't do that, this is a bad workout. You're not working out. And even though like the rest of his stuff I didn't get into, but I thought that's a good fucking mindset. Is that if I vomit, I'm doing good. There's nothing to worry about. So if you when you're doing this, like I would say, like when you're tricking your mind to put on this muscle, like have that in your mind. Like if I vomit or pass out, that's good. Like I'm actually getting close to my max, right? I'm doing the shit here. Yeah. And I'm not saying I actually never really like vomited because I just don't like vomiting. Like even when I drank, I just didn't vomit much. But I've come like where my stomach is like, oh,
I've
definitely
come up to my mouth.
Yeah.
It's like,
right.
It catches you.
It kind of comes up, right? Yeah. I've never really vomited, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you do that. That means your brain thinking you're dying.
It's something like that. Yeah, it's pushing it.
I
Yeah.
think it might be thinking you're in like fight or flight mode, and you need to get rid of that to just keep running.
Right.
Like
wow, that's probably it right there.
Yeah.
It's just like wow, you're just total. What's that called? That chemical adrenaline. Yeah. Total adrenaline. Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So okay, so that's it. So when we go today, you just whatever it takes in your mind to trick yourself, and then once you, I don't want to. Here's the other thing that with working out that's a big trap is that a lot of things they are a trap. Like you had the trainer, or what was it? I can't remember. One of you two guys. I think maybe it was you.
The powerlifter.
The trainer. The guy would make him smell smelling salts.
Yeah,
to get that extra
to do as much weight as possible.
Okay, so here's my take on that. Be careful of one thing in working out is that there's a lot of things you can do that can't continue.
Yeah, it was not sustainable.
It's not sustainable.
That's why I stopped.
It's just not sustainable for a number of reasons. Like one is the workout I'm doing because it's only once a week. You can be motivated once a week. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Like the difference between motivated 7 days a week and be motivated once a week when you're totally rested and you're ready. It's very easy to be motivated.
That's brilliant, actually. It really is.
It's a huge, right? Because you're so tired every day. How are you going to be motivated, right?
Right.
Like impossible, right? And so,
why was the salt thing?
Yeah.
Why were the salts unsustainable? What was it about?
Well,
them?
just how he was having me work out, 4 or 5 days a week. I could do it for a while. And then, like the salts, the smelling salts, that was like, let's see how much you can do. See, put as much weight on the bar. And, I was deadlifting like 350 or so at my 1 rep max with the smelling salts. And it adds, it gets your nervous system just fired.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can add another 20 pounds. But, I ended up getting a couple injuries. And then I started wanting to do other things, what actually derailed me the most was I started doing jiu-jitsu, and the combination of working out in the gym and then also going to jiu-jitsu, it just completely wore me out. Ultimately, I had more fun doing jiu-jitsu than lifting weights at that point, so I just stopped.
Well, plus you run 5 days a week. It's different, right?
Right.
Yeah, once a week is easy and fun.
Yeah.
You can totally get up for once a week, even if you're doing something else.
And you can still go rock climbing and do some jiu-jitsu.
Totally. Right. And well, the other thing too, I had one guy in the gym. I was doing something. I was really because I'm pretty intense, right? So when I was doing it, I was pretty intense, and this guy's like, "I know something that can pump you up. I'll show you when you do it." So I was doing the bench, and then he came up over me, and he just did a big loogie in my face, like right on my face, like a huge loogie. He's like. Just then it's right in my face, and I was just like, I got like 3 more reps, right? And he's like,
piss you off.
he's like, do that to me. He's like, spit on my face, big fucking green loogie right in my mouth. He's like, just do it. And it was very motivational that day. But it's just like, I don't know. That the thing is, you're trying to go to max at the same time as you have limits on what you can do every day. So you have to kind of get it in your mind, the perfect balance. It's difficult, what I'm saying. It's difficult.
Yeah.
But try to find that balance where you're in control, you're going to max, and you're not doing something like smelling salts where it's just that, I don't know what you call this thing. It's just over the top. Or it does work a little bit, but
It's a gimmick.
somehow you can see that this gimmick is not going to continue.
Yeah.
And the other thing with gimmicks is but in the end, in the beginning, you guys today when you're going to max the first time, not you because you already go to max, but you know what that means. But when you're trying to do it, you'll kind of need a gimmick to get yourself motivated. So what I used to do is I had different gimmicks that I would do in the beginning. But then after you get the feeling, like I can kind of go to max without looking like I'm going to max now, right? Because I'll just take it another slow one and I'll just be like right where I want. I can feel the brain, the muscle rushing. I'm not yelling. I'm not screaming. I'm not dropping. I just feel it. It's just like so painful. I'm just getting the last thing in, I'm doing it the right way instead of that little easier way, putting your elbows out or whatever it is that kind of makes it a little easier. I'm not doing that. I'm continuing on the movement. And there's little things, but basically after you need in the beginning to get your max and getting that feeling of max, that feeling of tricking your body to put on that muscle despite its evolutionary desire not to have the muscle. Once you get past that, you feel the release of chemicals. You feel your body is going to do it. Then you kind of won't need those tricks. You'll find yourself able to kind of go to max with or close enough without those tricks. That's my goal. Because I always want to be the simplest. I want it the easiest way. I don't want to have a partner. I don't want to have smelling salts and different things all the time. And I realize that I could put out a little bit more. So when I say max, there's a tiny bit more I could give. So, and I do kind of compromise on that because there's a limit. Again, it's like in the scope of your life, right?
It's risk and reward too. Yeah.
It's like there's just a kind of there's a balance there. Like I'm fully going for it.
The risk of injury in that last 5%.
It's not even. I don't. It's not even the injury. It's just like I also just want to have a good life.
Yeah.
And I don't care about working out either. You know what I mean? Like part of me doesn't give a fuck. Like my gyms I go to, they don't even know I'm a member because I just come in once a week. They're like, "Oh, did you renew?" I'm like, "Oh yeah," and then like, "Oh, we haven't seen you." They always say that. I haven't seen you in a while. Oh yeah, because I'm never there. When I am there, I'm in and out. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like that's the balance for me is you just kind of get the concept, and then you'll find the road to your concept to get that goal of that concept because it's the ultimate goal is to be a happy, healthy guy who looks good, who doesn't take any strange pills, and just doesn't waste time and leaves the gym and feels great, and doesn't need a lot of things other people need, right? Doesn't have a bad back, doesn't have,
Right.
Yeah, and so it's incredibly powerful as you get older too. So this workout is any age, like seriously, 13 to like 90. This is the same workout. Yeah,
I have a question.
same workout.
So you've been working out.
We're almost done, yeah.
Once a week, like that. Now the way you look,
Yeah.
will you lose that when you stop?
Well, I hurt my back last year. So I hurt my back really bad in January. So I had the toughest year of my life this year. And I particularly didn't do anything before I came here because I knew there was going to be we're going to do some workout stuff. So I was tempted to do my workout just before I came. And then this year to work out. And I was going to cancel it. Or I wanted to cancel because I was thinking like I could have been all pumped up when I got here, right? But I decided I was not going to do it because this is the toughest year of my life. So
Did you lose? Can you see if you shrank?
oh yeah. I haven't done what I've done before. Like if I wanted to show you that you can do this workout through anything. So this whole year I've been working on my lawsuit for my daughter, right? I've been representing myself. I've been traveling in the U.S. with no gym membership. I've been running around. I've been eating different foods in different cities. So no specific, no shake things, no working out, no knowledge of what the store is going to have, no understanding of this time of day has breakfast or doesn't. So I also traveled to India on this workout. So I was working out like this. I went to India before India became kind of modern India in 1999 when it was still India, cows in the street, riding camels. Like there was no gyms, like I was able to, because this workout is so powerful that you cannot even work out for 4 months and come back to it. Like if you have to, it really will build the foundation of your body. If you don't see it, it makes you a totally different person. I'm telling you, physically it does. So you can do this workout once a month if you have to. You if you wanted to, and I did this before when I was so busy. 20 minutes a month I did this workout, and it worked almost as good as now, almost as good as 4 times a month.
Really?
Yeah. Because the longer I rested, the more I could go in that
Right.
one time a month.
And
So I made up for it.
to answer your question from my
Yeah.
perspective too is, if you do stop working out, you will start to lose mass. But if you go back, it's easier to get back to where you were.
Yes.
You've already ridden that path before.
And,
So
and,
it's-
and also I'm at a different age, and now
Yeah.
I put yoga on there.
Yeah.
So it's a combination. I do this and then yoga. So
Mm-hmm.
I do have a little bit different goals than before. But this is still the foundation. This is the
Right.
foundation, right? But yoga is a great addition, and you don't lose. That's the other thing with other workouts is when you stop doing them, you quickly go to shit. This workout, you'll find you don't. It's because I don't know what it is you're doing. I don't know that I'm not a doctor, but you're doing something more fundamental to your body. I don't know if you're fixing the tendons. I don't know if you're like it's testosterone. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I think it helps you get a hard on. I swear. I think it helps you to be healthy, and yeah, I really do. I think it helps your eyes to be better, like see things clear, because it's something very fundamental, manly about this workout. I really believe
it
that.
is the testosterone.
I think
Yeah,
so. I think
yeah.
so. It's some kind of chemical.
Right. Puts you on your purpose. You want to get shit done.
Yeah. It like clears your head.
Yeah.
Like if I'm really fucked up, I'll go to the gym and I'll do this and I'll come and I'll feel better. Nothing changed. I
Yeah.
still got the same issues, but I feel a hell of a lot better about things. So it is it's a very powerful thing. And if you do, like I said, if you do find yourself in a very busy situation with your company and like things are crazy or whatever happens, you can get through that with this workout. You could do it twice a month. I think twice a month is much better than once a month. I did both. I did this twice a month several times and didn't notice much difference. But when you go to once a month, the problem with once a month is it's really hard to go to max after once a month because somehow you haven't done it in so long. And then if you miss 1 month, you're fucked. So that seems like it's too much. So try to go once a week. But if you are getting a master's degree and you got kids and you're working at, you're busy, you're working 48, 50, 60 hours a week, you might have to do twice a month. But you could just do the same thing, just the exact same thing. Don't change anything. And again, now I will say I do it differently. I don't know if I'll do it this way today because with everybody here, I might be more pumped. But generally, just to be honest, I want to tell you guys the truth. So I will do it because I do like the gym. I do like going to the gym. Because I used to go a lot. I used to go 7 days a week when I was in my 20s. And I really enjoyed it. I was fine.
Yeah.
But now when I go to the gym, I did it 20 minutes for years. 20-minute workout, 20-minute workout. But now it's like, if it takes 2.5 hours, I don't give a fuck. It's only once a fucking week. You know what I mean? Sometimes every 10 days. Quite often I'll forget it'll be 10 days. So what's the fucking difference? I like guys in the gym. I get along with them better than I do the average fat guy. You know what I mean? Because guys in the gym are trying to improve themselves. They have things to talk about. Gym's not. It's cool. It's a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking cool. It's not bad going to the gym. It's cool. So when I go to the gym now, this was kind of hard for me. Like I don't know if it was ego or whatever to accept, but I found myself as I got past 50 being in the gym longer, and I thought, wait, I got to get back to 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden there was something I realized that I'm doing just as good a workout in like a slower way. So what I'll do now is instead of when I say 2.5 hours, what I do is instead of one set, I'll do several sets, and then I'll kind of go my last set to max.
Yeah.
So I'll kind of like do heavy, and I'll just kind of get into it, and then that last one I'll just.
That's what I say too. It's I do
kind of
more
like
than one
max
set,
and max and
but
max.
As long as it's to failure, to that failure of muscle where you just can't get any more out of
Right.
it. And then maybe even you'll wait a little bit and do one more just to get it in there.
Right, you can wait a little bit, yeah.
Or take a little bit of weight off and get one more set in.
Sometimes, and sometimes and no. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. When you go to max, you'll know you're at max
Yeah.
when let's say you take a break for 10 minutes and you go back and you feel like you got nothing.
Yeah.
Don't do anything more.
Right.
Because that's the other thing. Once you've gone to max, it's essential in this workout to stop. That's it. Don't go any more because it's like a suntan. You get a suntan and then you go past that, you get a sunburn. Right? Just use that as your thing. Like, I got a suntan. It's
Yeah.
nice. I mean, of course, it's not healthy, but just. But anyways, the concept is there. You got a nice suntan. Don't push it.
Yeah.
Get out of the sun, right? So same with the workout. Once you've done it,
Don't overtrain.
don't overtrain.
Yeah.
Just get done, get out, take your shower. And the other thing is I always go and get a banana afterwards, potassium. Usually I bring it to the gym. And I usually have, I forgot who told me this, if this is in the book, but I found this is valuable. Okay, bring some shitty carbs to the gym. So grab some Wonder Bread or some shitty rice or like just a shitty sandwich from a truck stop or something. Just some kind of shitty carbs. And then, because usually I'll eat brown rice or, the kind of like
Like a piece of pizza.
yeah, like pizza's oily.
Like
No,
too,
it's
too shitty.
no, it could be pizza. Yeah, it could be pizza. But I think it's better. Like I'm just saying, carbs
Yeah.
only,
Right.
not a sandwich.
Like while you're working out.
Right when I finish.
Oh, right when you finish. Okay.
Right when I finish. So I'll have a couple of shitty pieces of bread and a banana,
Okay.
and then I'll eat that when I get to my locker. I'll eat that, and then I'll go take a shower. And what that does is gives immediate sugar dose to the muscles.
yeah.
So I think you're going so hard that if you don't give them something to eat, then they start to eat each other. It starts to not build muscle. It doesn't, because what happens is if you go too hard, your body will break down. It doesn't. You want to give it something, some sugar, right? Give it some good stuff.
I was wondering about
Yeah.
this because your other video, how
Yeah.
you were showing us how you cook. I was
Yeah.
thinking, how do you keep muscle on with just eating a few vegetables and?
Okay, so this workout will kind of help you to do it, but
Okay.
this workout kind of solves half of that. But the other half is the stuff I've done so far has been mostly breakfast food, because usually I'm at home and I make the video in the morning. So I should make lunch, but I just haven't yet. I just haven't gotten around to it because every time I'm in the mood to make a video, it's always breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah, so everyone is like, that's why I feel like making a video. So everyone has been something breakfast. So breakfast, I will eat just garlic, all that stuff that I always eat in the video. So, but then after I eat that, what I do is I'll just for myself, what I'll do is I'll coffee until I'm hungry. So I'm listening to my body. I don't eat when I'm not hungry. I'll wait, and then when I'm hungry, the vegetables, right? And then wait, and then when I'm starving, big lunch. So my lunch is my big meal. So if I'm hungry, I think listening to your body is another essential thing. So I learned to listen to your body. So today I had one lunch, but often I'll get 2 or 3 lunches or whatever because I'm hungry. And like yesterday for dinner, I had the Greek salad, the big Greek salad, and the Greek wrap. You guys all had one meal. I had 2 because I was just feeling hungry. So listen to your body. If you feel yourself, of course, you're trying to eat good food, but when you're hungry, eat. It's the same thing with this getting the last rep in. If you try to use smelling salts
Yeah.
or any of these things, if you try to trick everything, you end up tricking nothing, right? So if you don't eat enough, you're going to have donuts or something, or something fucked up you're going to do. So be careful, because it's a balanced life, is right, and you'll find a way to trick it. So if you're hungry, eat, because you're going to eat anyway somehow. Maybe you'll eat more the next meal, or you'll eat shittier the next meal,
Yeah.
or you're going to do something. So be good to yourself. In other words, if you're hungry, eat. Just
lot
fucking
of it-
eat. And this workout, once you start doing this workout, let me say real quick. So say you're fat, do this workout anyway. Just do this. Don't do anything else. Don't run. Don't use it. I don't do any of those machines in the gym. Once in a while, if I'm in the mood, because I kind of like the cross country machine, before I start, I'll do it for 5 minutes and just get the blood moving, and then go to the weights.
Like the elliptical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Elliptical, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one. So I'll get on the elliptical, I'll do that,
Yeah.
get my blood flowing, and then I'll just go up to the weights and do that. And so that's my thing. I won't do stretching, but if I ever do a warm-up, and it's not very often, but when I do elliptical. I like that feeling of your arms and your legs.
It's smoother on your joints, too.
It's smoothing your joints, and it's like stretching and kind of like feels good. Also, it's kind of a coordination thing. You're getting yourself coordinated, right? So what was I going to say? So don't. It's not like misery or anything. It's not. It's not like. Yeah, it's not like.
It was like a second job to eat because like my trainer wanted me eating like over 3,000 calories. I'm a pretty skinny guy, And I could do it. I was
feel
just
you on
like
that.
pushing it down, and it did work. To his credit, I did gain some weight, but I was feeling like sluggish. My digestion wasn't good. There's all the things, they work at least temporarily.
Right.
But I'm looking for something that like works with my lifestyle, and I'm going to feel good, and it's actually making me more healthy, rather than, my health is lower. Maybe like getting more toxins in my body. I don't know.
Sure.
I kind of felt that way.
That's the thing that's in Southern I was in Southern California when I was in 6th grade, right? And I got my teacher, Mr. Mers, was super cool, right? He had a chopper, and he looked like the Fawns, and Happy Days was popular, right? So he bought all these weights, and he brought them to school, and he said, if anybody wants to lift weights at lunch, instead of eating lunch, I'll let you, we can work out. And so I was like, I'll try that. So here I am in 6th grade, starving as fuck, and instead of lifting, instead of eating, we worked out. And it was, in fact, I liked Mr. Mercer, so I was happy to be there. So I'd be working out, and then then my birthday came, and then in January, so then I told my mom I wanted a box of I wanted weights from Sears, so I went there, got weights. So I started lifting weights, and then I made a table, bench press, out of 2x4s is the things. And then that was when I was in 6th grade. So I started lifting when I was in 6th grade. So a lot of the stuff, like you're talking about, you got bloated, you put on muscle, they disappeared. Yeah. This workout does not do that. Because I tried all these things this is the advantage of working out from, how old are you in 6th grade? Let's see, what is that? 12. So 12 to 62. So I'm giving you 44 years of experience here on top of this workout. Like I'm filtering it through 44 years of working out too. So I've tried a lot of stuff that I forget I'm totally serious. Like 44 years, I've tried a lot of stuff. So I know like you can get this and then it comes back and then it didn't work. I want something where you're building and it's always there. It's always good. So what I was going to say about that guy is your trainer, he might not have been directly tricking you or trying to do anything. So many people have only worked out for a couple of years. So they really don't know that much. They know something and it works, but there's so few people have tried a lot of stuff. Just so few people. It's just so few people have the discipline to do stuff long term. So it's tough to get good advice because working out is really it's like there's so many mistakes you can make in it, right? So that it's like I try to take everything and put everything in there because I know like I could teach you something too that you'd put on weight and muscle and you'd feel really good. And that's what they do in those workout things. It's always like the guy who looked like shit who now looks good.
Right.
I hate those. I hate American marketing for that because I don't think that's what you need. I really think that's a very, very bad idea. You don't want to teach. You don't want the homeless guy teach you how to make $1 million, because the homeless guy is going to be so desperate that his real way to get rich is probably going to be ripping people off. Right? I'm not saying I don't want to put down homeless guys, but you know what I'm saying. Like when you're desperate, you're hungry, you're starving to death, you're going to steal a sandwich.
You're gonna take a shortcut.
You're going to steal a sandwich, right? You're going to shoplift, right? I don't want to shoplift, right? So I don't want my hero to be a guy who was so poor he had to shoplift to get his thing and then to cover it up because he doesn't want to show you what he really did to make money, to be successful, right? That's the problem with workouts too, is it's like you don't want somebody who's so desperate or so lacking in knowledge or lies to themselves and only knows their body type and doesn't look at anybody else. Like you want to kind of like have as honest as a long-term as opinion as possible. And you want somebody who's basically always been in shape as your hero because they're the ones, ask people what they looked like before, because if they're always going up and down, if you listen to them, you will go up and down because that's all they know is up and down. It's very heavy. This is very true too. So find people who found they like, whether it's the workouts or it's their personality is balanced and they somehow are able to maintain things, you know what I mean? And continue, because health, you can get rich and lose money. It doesn't really affect you that much. But your health isn't like that. Your health is totally different. If you become very fat and then you get very skinny, you really fucked with your metabolism in a very bad way, and it's permanent. You're really fucking with your skin. You're fucking with your internal organs. You're doing damage, and it's unnecessary. So that's why I'm saying the men's health and fitness, because your goal is to be a healthy man, right? And to be able to survive all the decades ahead and all the struggles you're going to have. No matter, you're going to have lockdowns, masks, whatever it is that's going to come in your life, right? Whatever, tsunamis, electricity gone, no gyms, whatever, you're going to have to find a way that you can continue. And so I try to find those things that you can continue. And I've done this continually too. I have tried things, like I said, I tried things, but I was never very extreme. I never went on an extreme. I never did steroids. I never, one time in my life I ate a bunch of protein powder and I got fat a little bit. For me, fat was, you wouldn't think fat, but it was like I gained a little bit of weight, and I was like, it's the fucking protein powder. And it cost me a fortune too, because I bought it in Tokyo. It was like 10 times the price. And it was so dumb, because I just thought, I thought I was unsophisticated. These sophisticated guys, they eat these processed things and pills, and they're in those, I'm just eating
Science.
vegetables and stuff. Those guys are smart. They're eating all those Weeder and all this science. Yeah, they're called science diet and stuff like that. They have names like that, optimal nutrition and all that stuff. So I was like, I got to be more sophisticated with this. Go with them. Because who is your hero, right? And so that's the difficult thing in this. It's very difficult. What are your goals and who's your hero? Right. It's very difficult. It's actually, most people are completely confused about this. If you just get out of this workout, if you just get that done, you're in a much better position. And you just want to look good. Well, yeah, I'll say one thing too. I always loved the way Bruce Lee looked when I was young, because I want to be like Bruce Lee, right? I want to just ripped, And so I was like, you want to be the best that your body offers, right? That was always my goal, is the best my body offers, So just do the best. You don't want to be like you can't cheat it. There's no cheating. There's no cheating. You're you. That's all you got, right? And so if you cheat, it's going to fall apart. So you have to you're you. So just know that's good enough, right? So you're going to kick ass. You're going to get ripped. Put on the muscle. But don't get caught up in the shit, right? So it's important. It's important. Because there's so many guys who are fucked up. If you go to the gym, I go to the gym in San Clemente, and there's these fucking guys. I swear to God, the guys like me who worked out a long time, all of them have injuries like crazy, man. They're wrapping things. Their back, they have a heater on their back.
Yeah.
They have steroid issues. I knew a guy, he was 20, he's in his 20s, 26, I think, in Vegas. He'd had 2 heart attacks from steroids. But he looks normal, But he had 2 fucking open heart fucking surgeries. Yeah, because of steroids. He just overused steroids. So, be careful, because somebody can't see it in people, right? And also, people are not honest. They're not going to tell you. And also, they can be jealous of you. They won't tell you. A trainer could actually be super jealous of you and take you down the wrong road just because he's jealous of you. Because he sees that you have whatever it is, the right, the muscles they're long instead of short.
Long insertion points.
Yeah, is it long insertion points?
Yeah, it's long versus short.
Right.
Insertion.
So if you have short insertion points, then you're kind of you're short and
stockier.
Yeah, but you're just basically bunched up, Whereas the better muscle tone for the stronger and the Wilt Chamberlain looking guy. Wilt Chamberlain's the ultimate guy in this. He just has that long muscles. He's so strong, but he doesn't even look big. But he was one of the strongest guys in the world, actually. I think he beat the world record in bench pressing, just sitting down and doing it. He was incredible, specimen type guy, right? He had it, but if you look at him in a picture, you won't notice how big he is. You got to kind of get a picture where you can get up close to the guy. He was incredibly huge, right? And he was just, that's the look. Now, of course, he's kind of a freak of nature, but he had it naturally. But he had those long muscles. So you have to be careful, because you have what you have. So you just do the best. You're trying to maximize. But I think this workout works for anybody. The max, I really think it works. Mm-hmm. I've seen it work with. I think this workout even works out with girls, because I've taken a couple of girls, really lightweight Asian girls, and I had them do it for themselves, and I saw big benefits, because it doesn't make you big. It will straighten your back up, you'll feel in yourselves walking straighter and just feeling like you'll see a confidence in people when they get it right. Whereas when you see people like that do the heavy stuff, you just look at them walk around and you'll see they just don't have confidence. Like even the powerlifters, a lot of them, they know they're doing something wrong, but they don't know what it is. Like they're fat, they don't look good, they spend a lot of time in the gym when they don't have to. Like there's a lot of people doing stuff and it's like you could say it's their choice and that's the politically correct thing to say. I think it's wrong. I think they're lost. They just don't know it. But when they have a good friend or teacher who can take them and show them, it's kind of like maybe this video could be like that. What was that? A Christmas Carol.
Which character? Or
wasn't it Scrooge or something? What was that guy?
Scrooge.
Wasn't it Eleanor Scrooge or something? He was
Ebenezer
Scrooge.
Yeah.
Was that Christmas? What was that one?
Yeah, Christmas Carol.
Christmas
with
Carol,
the three ghosts of Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
So the thing is showing you. This is the way you want to think about it. Showing you your life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you go back over your life, and then he's like, "Oh, I made all these mistakes." I think with working out, you can kind of go over your life and realize how dumb you've been with health, right? And just how many crazy things you can get into, right? Just eating all apples. Or, you know what I mean? Like,
Or doing like a crash diet.
A crash diet.
Yeah.
I did one dumb thing, I got to admit. One stupid fucking thing. And one of my friends, he said, we were saving as much as we could. Like I told you, I saved $100,000 one time when I was in my 20s, right? And I saved it in a very short period of time. And I wasn't making much money, but I just didn't spend any money, right? And so what I did was I bought 110 kilos of rice that was on sale because nobody in Japan eats. There was a rice kind of famine thing. I forgot what year it was, too much rain, so there was only Thai rice. They imported it, but Japanese didn't like Thai rice, so it all went to garbage. And so the Japanese was just ate bread that year. And so anyway, I found this Iranian who had 110 kilos of rice for like $10, and so I bought it. And so I brought it to my house. So I had rice, and then my friend said, just put a can of tuna and a can of corn, and then a bunch of rice in a plastic container, and then just eat that for lunch, right? So that's what I did every fucking lunch. I just put rice. So in the morning, I'd put the rice cooker, throw the rice in there, jump in the shower, get out, and I do it for breakfast too. So I just pull out rice, white rice, pile of white rice, and I put a can of tuna on there. I'd squeeze the oil out of it, put some hot water in there, squeeze all the oil out, stick it on there, a can of corn, dump it on there, eat it, and then I'd go to work. And then I'd lunch, open up my thing, I had my rice, I had my tuna, my corn. It was all packed in there, So I do it all in 2 minutes. It was good in a way because it was like that $10 worth of rice lasted like a whole year, right? Every day, and I eat a lot, right? So I was eating like a pound or two of rice a day. That was expensive in Japan. So I was saving tons of money, but I was eating a monotonous diet.
Yeah.
And because I was healthy in every other way, and I was young, I still looked okay. I looked good. You would have seen me and said, "Oh, you're in good shape,"
Right.
But my mom came, and my mom said, "Your skin's turning yellow. You're not looking healthy." And my mom's a nurse, right? So, but I don't listen to people. So, like, I really like do it my own way. Like, I really go my own way. So, it's like difficult. My balance is to listen sometimes when it's good, and then most of the time it's useless, right? But my mom that time was right, and I looked in the mirror after she left, and I thought, my skin is getting fucked up, and I thought. This is how dumb I was with health. I didn't even know like monotonous diet every day would hurt me. But I thought about it. What had happened is I like the rice and corn. It tastes good. Mm-hmm. And so I did rice and corn for lunch. And then I started doing it for breakfast. And then I wanted to really save money. So I was doing dinner too. So I'd do rice and corn. I'd put enough rice for 3 meals. I'd fucking throw one for breakfast and 2 plastic containers. I'd be out all day. I'd never buy any food in Japan, essentially, because I was always just stop, eat it. If there was no place to eat, I'd go to the toilet, eat in the toilet, and come out. And I was saving money like crazy, and it was efficient, and I was all on my own, but it was monotonous. And then, so I learned the hard way that you need variety.
Yeah.
So
you're not getting the nutrients.
Yeah, I just didn't get the nutrients. And so when I tell you about the exercises, I do things and I get into them, and then I find out why. It's this way.
Yeah.
And then once I started to realize it, why a variety is necessary. I had to see it in the skin of my, my face. So anyway, so that's you can do it that way. I mean, that's the way I learned. So I guess everybody has their own way, you know. I have to kind of learn why. Why do you do that?
Right.
Now I can learn why from a teacher, but it has to be a teacher who explains why. It can't be a teacher who's like, just don't do that. That's dumb, or that doesn't work. That doesn't. My mind's like, he's probably wrong, you know, because most people are just doing stupid things around me all the time. Like I don't listen to 99% of the stuff around me, so because I was so stupid, you know. Like my mom is very healthy, but she always says things like, "Well, you need a balance." And then what she means is everything, like eat some bread, have some ice cream. Like she doesn't mean like a balance of. She says like my mom's very normal, right? So she's gonna eat everything, right? And she likes fine food, so some French food, Iranian food. But I see I'm more like straight to the point. Vegetables, you know, carbs, any carbs, you know. So I do that. So I don't listen to people, but when I have to, I do, right? And or when it's time to learn, then I do. So. That's it. So let's go do the workout. Let's try to do it. And then who knows, now that you guys got the mindset, you might even be able to help. You know, like that my ultimate goal in giving this program away is just so that maybe somebody out there will be able to improve it. Right. And we can make a better workout or another way to think, another mindset that will actually improve it. Right? So because this is so important. It's so fundamental to your life. And it's so easy to do. It's so fucking easy and so fucking cheap. Because when you go to the gym once a week, you can almost go to gyms and get free memberships and do twice at one gym, right? Because you come back 6 days and boom, you hit the second one, you hit your week, and then you do another way second. You can like do it so cheap because you almost don't even need a membership, right? Yeah. So if you're I've done this when I'm totally broke, right? Totally fucking broke. And I just figured out a way, you know. There was this neighborhood, and they had a jacuzzi and a pool, and then they had a workout thing. And I realized they didn't keep the pool door locked at night, so I'd climb the fence like 3 a.m. I'd go in there, use the gym, and then just do my once a week workout, 20 minutes or whatever, and get the fuck out. But you know, nobody would ever notice me because I've been able to do this workout. That was when I was in college. Yeah, and so when I've done this workout, I've done workouts like this through thick and thin, rich and poor, you know, feeling good, not feeling good. And later, maybe as we do the next improvement, I can tell you how I did this through serious injury too. Because this workout is not very good. So a very good thing, there's always a way around stuff that you can somehow, you might be injured for whatever reason, and you can do like, let's say 5 out of 6 normal, and then the other one you can do something different.
Right.
And again, you're going to max, so you're releasing those chemicals, and you're getting the benefit.
It's important not to like once you're on the train of like working out, don't fall off. Because like if you have an injury and then I'm just not going to go this time because I'm injured. It's like no, do everything else except for the thing that you're getting injured on. Right. You can do it less when you're too busy because of this type of workout. But I agree. There's in the end of the day, it's run or be killed. Yeah.
Life is like run from the tigers. The tigers are behind you. Trying to kill you, eat you. Keep running until you die. Just keep fucking relentlessly running. You never have a break in life. Keep running.
I mean, maybe it's
I am always going. I'm relentless. And I'm always going. Time said something about me because he was on the tour, so he got to see me, and he said, "You're a perpetual motion machine." And I was like, I'm like a wandering tribe in Africa. Like I just always doing something. I'm always moving, and I found out now, like the studies are that like we've been sitting down now for an hour, we're less healthy than we were an hour ago. Yeah, like it's not. Some people will say, "Oh, if somebody moves all the time, it's because they have some mental problem or there's something wrong with them. They can't face themselves." It's not true. It's totally not true. People that are sitting down, every minute you rest, it's just not good. There's nothing good about it. We were wandering tribes. We would go to a place. We would always be hunting food. We would always be looking for food. And then we rested at night. The only time we ever slept in the day was we ate a big meal, like ate something big, and we go into the tree and rest, sleep. You know, and then we kind of get our digestive system, and we'd be back moving, right? So, don't listen to people like these people telling you need to rest or you're mentally, what do they know about life? Did they live on the plains of Africa 1,000 years ago? Like, what do they know? You as a guy who's always pushing, you probably know more than most people about things. So be careful. Like the memes, they hit you, and you start to believe them. Like whenever I do let's say one last thing. This workout, whenever I explain it to some people, they'll just immediately say, that's too extreme. And it's just easy to say. Too extreme. Yeah, too extreme. I would get injured doing that. And this is another excuse.
Yeah.
Totally not true. I mean, they're looking at me. I'm 56, and I'm way healthier than them. And they're way younger than me. I'm not injured. I went through everything. Like I was a skinny guy who couldn't pump. I went through everything. They don't know that. They think it's gift. Everybody who is a loser, they think that everybody that's doing well in something is because it was easy for them. Right? This is the mindset.
Right.
And if I did it, would be dangerous because they don't want to face the fact that they're a lazy fuck and dishonest.
Yes.
They're a dishonest, lazy fuck. Right? Don't be a dishonest, lazy fuck. Yeah. Okay. That's about it. Let's go to the next one.